Wait a second! Are you telling me that the main character in a movie can be both old and a lady? That's what I said when I saw Thelma and gave it 10 out of 10 stars. Oh no! I've given my score, and now you will have no reason to watch further. My journalistic integrity is a shambles. Verily, I have become one with the worm. I have been brought low and made humble by my grievous error. It's just this sort of error that comes with getting old, which is something the movie Thelma confronts and forces us to think about through the power of laughter. I'm Garrhy Boldpenis, and this is Fire Up Them Hogs. She's a-Comin. Recently, my accountant, Darby and Chumley, was telling me about how you can't just live in a house, you have to purchase it. When I interrupted him to tell him the premise of a movie, he just had to see. You see, most of the time when a lady is old, she bakes cookies in the shape of elves and stares forlornly at a calendar, pondering events of the past. But not Thelma. Malcolm McDowell, having given in to his innate British impulses, scams the old coot out of $10,000. This leaves her very little money left for doting upon her mentally deficient grandson, who smiles ghoulishly regardless of the emotions he is trying to convey. My wife says that this character reminds her of me, which is a comment that greatly upsets me. The vile deeds of McDowell push the old prune to her limits, and she becomes something never before seen on a cinema screen. Badass. Oh my God, my accountant yelled. Please pay attention to this very important matter. No, I replied. I need to tell you about the lovable cast of kooky characters that Thelma meets along the way. There is a person who is old like Thelma, but also a man, which is not like Thelma. Also, there's a mom who cries, which I guess is what Parker Posey is doing these days. And then there's a character named Garrhy, like me, who stares at everyone. This is my favorite joke in the whole movie, and I liked it even more the second time they did it, and the third time they did it, and the fourth time they did it, and the Brian, can you fix the teleprompter? I can't. Fifth time they did it, and the sixth time they did it, and Stop it! My accountant screamed. I am going to have you removed from my office if you do not stop telling me about this wonderful movie! Shut the fuck up! I hollered, slamming him into the wall and pointing a gun to his head, in a fashion not unlike Thelma herself. You will be quiet as I describe to you both the music and the cinematography of this film! Fine, he replied, but only if you give me your score as well! Bastard, I said, slapping him across the face. You know if asked, I am morally obliged to surrender my score! Pwned, he said. Please like and subscribe or I will not release another video. I said, and he said yes. Like the story, Thelma's cinematography is very good. The DP used anamorphic lenses, which is a fancy way of saying that the picture distorts around the edges and some things are out of focus, which is how you know it's art. This is a technique I am not unfamiliar with, as barrel distortion is a key component of every photo of my groinal surprise. And by that I mean pants potato. It's how I charmed my wife. Now on to the music. I did not notice the music as I was too busy imagining myself as Big Thelm herself. Can you imagine it? Me on a scooter? Scooting? I told this to my accountant, who is starting to look pretty funny because of the gun barrel creating a circular imprint on his temple. He laughed uproariously and promised to see the movie at once. Very good, I said, putting my pistol away. I'm glad we solved that whole problem with the property taxes. My accountant would not give me his score, but he did say that he agreed with the reviewers of Letterboxd, who ranked it higher than Barbie, Anchorman, Lady Bird, and Kung Fu Panda. Here is a drawing I made of another old person, who could be the star of a flick of his own. And now a word from our sponsor, Grundmann's Very Large Boxes, for when you need to store. Join me next time